Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I have an unboxing that I am so unbelievably excited about. This is probably, it's at least one of my most desired knives of 2025. Like, if I were to make a top 5, I would say this would be in there, not possibly top 3. I thought that it would be months before I could actually get my hands on this, and who knew that the answer would just be to pay too much. So I'm halfway joking there, but ultimately this was a proof run, and that's why it was so much more expensive than just waiting for a standard one. And I thought, I don't care. I'm a collector. I really want this knife, so I'm going to go ahead and get it. But yes, I had to pay way too much money for this. It popped up on NC Blade, and I was super excited. I went and bought it. I had about $350 in extra points through NC Blade to actually spend, so that helped out a little bit. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. I would link this down in the description, but this is just a stupidly difficult knife to find right now. I think eventually it'll be easier to find, but as of right now, it's very difficult. So I'll link I'll link the the listing, but expect it to be sold out, definitely. So what do we have here? This is the Declaration of Authenticity, the double edge M390 MK. Nemesis 4. This is a proof run. What does that mean? It's basically the run that they do at the factory, the final one that they do saying, yes, this is what we want to, like, all of these are perfect. This is what we want to go ahead and base the production versions off of. So it is a full production run. There is no difference. There's no difference between this and the production variations that will, that you'll see at retailers moving forward. This one just says proof run on it. So basically before serial number 1, and this is usually something that collectors go nuts for, especially with certain knives, and sometimes can be very valuable. In this case, I have no idea. I don't plan to sell it afterwards, so the value of it moving forward doesn't mean much to me. It just was an opportunity to get it because it was very difficult to get my hands on. I've been wanting to make content on this for a while. Sorry for the lengthy intro. I just wanted to point this out, point all these details out. So this is a very cool knife. We actually have not seen the Nemesis for, when was the last run? Over 12 years ago, perhaps as many as 15 years ago. This is a single action OTF. It's one of the types of OTFs that created that rumor. Like when I made my YouTube shorts about, this is a lie, they lied to you. If you have like an Uncle Jerry who's like, back in my day, they had switchblades that were so powerful you could hold it up to a man and it would pierce right through him, fully extend and lock out and pierce right through him. When in actuality, he was probably drunk and full of crap and had no real memory of it. He just made it up in his head because of movies or whatever. The reality of it is that even the most powerful, right, whether it's a double action or a single action like this, will just give you a really good poke. And it might pierce you a little bit. It might give you as much as a 1/4-inch jab. And that'll still hurt. You might have to go to the hospital, right? But it's not going to fully extend and lock out, which is absolutely the myth perpetuated by idiots. That's always been the case. There's never been a version of this knife, a single action OTF or double action OTF, right? Yes, the ones you have to manually reload because they don't have the safeties that come off the rails, as people like to say it. That's what this is. Amongst one of the most powerful types of pocketable EDC knives on Earth, right? Not like some giant oversized thing or attached to an air pressure tank. Yeah, they won't actually do that. But this Nemesis 4, we haven't seen this for a long time. So this is the 2025 variation of it. You can see that there's no markings on the outside, and I believe that the production versions will be the same because all the markings are going to be on the inside or attached to this. But it's interesting because this firing button is in the middle of the knife, which I originally didn't think I would like until I realized how huge the handle is. This knife is gigantic, very long and slender. So we currently, I hope, have the safety on. Let's find out. The safety is on. We're going to pull this switch down. Lots of detent on that. Very deliberate force, right? You can see it says S and F, right? So safety and presumably fire, I would guess, right? So now we're ready to fire. Very powerful single action OTF. This is as far as like, you know, the entire spectrum of these single action knives go. This is the one where you can't retract it automatically. You have to, well, normally you would push this button and pull out. This is an interesting knife where you actually have to disengage a liner lock here. So you're going to disengage and you're going to pull right there. And this is what manually primes the knife. So there's a coil spring in here, right? If I put something in front of this knife, there is nothing that will stop that blade from pushing forward other than a force that is powerful enough to just stop it. But this is the type of knife, right? Because we always have an Uncle Jerry in the comments going, well, it's not the ones that derail. It's the ones that don't derail. Of course, if you are as educated as I am, right? Well, that's what this is. This is one of those that don't derail. That's not actually what's happening, but that's, you know, to keep it simple, like that's what we're going to say. This will not stop unless something is put in front of the blade that is capable of stopping it, which, as it turns out, is almost anything, right? I mean, it's more powerful than a double action, so this will go through paper and, you know, some materials that are slightly thicker than paper, but as soon as it's met with something as simple as, say, cardboard, the spring will just stop pushing as soon as there's enough, you know, a solid enough surface there to stop it, right? So that's what's happening here, but there is definitely enough force to injure yourself. So much more powerful than a standard dual action OTF. Very, very long M390 MK blade, dual edge, ground perfectly. I'll let you guys take a look there at the tip. Just absolutely perfect on this guy. So very, very nice. I think maybe, no, that line still goes, I think it goes just about perfect. A lot of these double-edged Microtechs, they are a little bit goofy right at the edge, but you can see there that line, it's just the reflection. It does go all the way out. Looks like maybe there's a chip or a roll in the edge. It's actually just debris. This is pretty new. I've only fired it a couple of times now. And yes, I did get this out of the box because it came in on Christmas Eve, right? But anyways, how's the solidity on lockout? This is without being the... because I don't think at the moment they can produce these as, what do they call that? The ZBT or ZBP. It's not a zero blade play technology Microtech. I don't know what the current state of that is between Microtech and Hawk. That's an entirely separate thing. But the reason I bring it up is because the amount of blade play is as close to zero as I have ever felt a Microtech knife. It does move ever so slightly, but it is the subtlest little, like if you were to compare it with, like, say, their production combat Troodon, which has very minimal blade play, I would say this is 10 times more solid. It barely moves at all. I mean, there's not even any rattle. It's crazy. So very, very cool, and it definitely is locked out there. I don't know how this internal mechanism works, but obviously this liner lock engages as soon as you fire it. Now, one of the concerns, there's a little detent thing back there. One of the concerns that I always have with single action OTFs, and I was worried about this guy, is bounce back. So when you fire it, some of these, like the Maxace Draco and the one from Heretic, not the Medusa, the Hydra, both of those had such serious issues with bounce back, meaning it would come out and the lock could not engage quick enough. So it was hitting and then coming back, and it was not actually locking out. This knife has probably been fired about 50 times now, because I was playing with it a lot on Christmas Eve. It locked out every single time. That liner and whatever else is involved here with the lock, it engaged every single time, and so I was pretty excited about that. Fit and finish is, of course, excellent, and I know we're 9 minutes in, and I know people are like, can you shut up about all this and just measure it? This thing is gigantic. I'm going to tell you about power relative to the other famous single-action OTFs that I have experienced. The overall length of this guy, this is an enormous knife. This knife is about 10.2. I think they listed as 10 1/4, and you know what? I'm going to give it that. This is 10 1/4 inches. Your blade length, I don't know what they listed as. I'm going to tell you guys it's 4.35, and your actual cutting edge is 4 1/8. Enormous, enormous knife. Now, it doesn't have a pocket clip, and you know what? Probably a good idea. It also did not come with any type of Kydex sheath. And now, I don't know if the production variation would come with that or not. This is all that it came with. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm never going to carry this, and I wouldn't want to either. It's still too much power to risk having that in my pocket. And while I think it's very unlikely that something, because this button is recessed, I think it's unlikely that something would cause it to fire, but not impossible. It's not the type of thing that I want in my pocket, even if that blade is not strong enough to, you know, like leave a 4-inch hole in my leg, obviously, no. But it'll give me a good poke for sure, whether it's, you know, the tip pointing up or the tip pointing down in my pocket or wherever I decide to carry it. I don't want that blade coming out and poking into me. So it doesn't really matter to me, but some people will want to carry this, and as far as I know, the only option is just to put the entire thing in your pocket and make sure that the safety's on, which would be like this, and then you're okay, right? So yeah, this was purchased as a collector's item for me, and I think that this is really, really cool. The proof run price was outrageous, right? And so don't worry about me. You don't have to be concerned for me or my bank account. This was budgeted for, and I'm a content creator, so sometimes I'm going to buy things for content. This proof run variation of the knife was well over $1,000. I very much doubt you would expect to pay anywhere near that for the standard production version, but it will still be extremely expensive. Probably, I'm going to guess, because I haven't actually seen the production prices, definitely over 500, probably over 600, could potentially be more than that, right? Wouldn't surprise me. Should it be that much? Probably not. I don't know why this would be that much more expensive than a combat Troodon. Realistically, I think that the maximum they should charge for something like this is $500. Are they going to only charge $500 for it? Almost certainly not. Almost certainly not. It's probably going to be substantially more. In fact, I think we have seen a couple of actual production listings on the Microtech Gear or whatever website, and a couple of retailers who have seen just a few standard production variations of this. But it's kind of hard to say that that's the price, because these have not necessarily been fully released to the wild. So once the dust settles, then we'll be able to say, here's the actual retail price for this thing, right? I don't know. How powerful is it relative to the most powerful single action, meaning the ones you have to reload, right? The ones with the springs that keep pushing the blade and don't derail, right? The most powerful versions of those knives that I have ever experienced are the Microtech Halo 6, the Heretic Hydra, and the Maxace Draco. The Microtech Halo 6 is still definitely the most powerful, followed by the Draco. I think that the Hydra is slightly less powerful than the Draco, but it's marginal. And then I think that this guy is actually slightly less powerful than that. Now, it's still very, very... I'm still getting confused by this button here. It's still very, very powerful, but it's a much longer and more slender blade. Yeah, it might be about the same power as the Hydra, but the Hydra is a shorter, thicker blade, and the way that that feels in your hand when you fire it, it just translates different. So it might be that the same force is firing these blades. This is still not something I'd want to be in front of if it was being fired at me or near me, right? It doesn't quite feel... I mean, like, I feel like the Draco feels a little bit... You know what? I've actually got the Draco right here. Let me just... Instead of talking, let me just get that stupid thing out. I wish that the first chance that I get to buy a Microtech Halo, like if they ever bring the Halo 7 back, then I'll check it out. I know that the Halo 4 is going to be available, and I will probably pick one of those up as well. The Halo 4 is not quite as big as the 6, and I never handled the original. So firing this guy fires pretty hard. I'm still getting mixed up with that liner lock there. Let's fire this one. The Draco is still a more powerful feeling knife. And I think it's because there's just so much blade. That spring is pushing so much blade that I wonder if the recoil of it is affecting how it feels. I still think even if that's the case, it still fires like... So this feels like a more high quality action, right? And it has substantial force. This feels like a little bit more clunky action. That did lock out that time. Feels a little bit more clunky, but it also feels a little more powerful. So that's where I'd rank it. Versus any dual action automatic knife. How powerful? Like say versus the Microtech Scarab 2. This fires with comically more force than the Microtech Scarab 2. It's still a single action and it's insane. This is about what I expected. I didn't expect it to be like firing with atomic force. What am I running into here? Interesting. I wonder what that is. Sorry. There's something that it wants to stop on. Let's make sure that we are doing good here on the edge. Well, the edge is fine. Don't feel any weirdness as if the blade is getting caught on anything on the way in. So right there. Interesting. I have to get past something there. I wasn't feeling it initially because I was pulling so hard. But now that I'm going a little slower, right there. I think it's intentional because I can go past it. Oh, interesting, right there. So you can see that must be where the spring engages because look, when I let go, there's this little area right here where this doesn't. So this is the moment where that is hooking onto the blade and now I'm pulling the spring back. That's where we're at there. Does this have something like that? Yeah, it does, right there. Right there is where that engages, or as far back as wherever it's been. So I guess it does actually start at the beginning. And so now this is where it's, that little thing is catching it. Okay, so that makes sense. So how about this? Does this start at the, it absolutely does. And then wherever I've pulled it back to, this is going with it. But right here, there's another catch. And there's additional friction on the blade. Interesting. Okay. Well, it seems built in intentionally. So the only other relative size comparison I can give you is up against the Draco, and it's exactly the same overall length. So it's huge. This is an incredibly good looking knife, and it's also symmetrical. Even the entry point, I think this side, no, they look to be equal. Up here they don't. And here, up here, it looks like it's slightly favoring this side. So yeah, I think so, the way that this is machined, right? But it's meant to look incredibly symmetrical, and I do love that. I think that's cool. This is not a review. It's just an unboxing and first impressions. So I will ultimately review this knife. The only thing I didn't do is weigh it. I'll go ahead and put the safety back on so it doesn't fire at me while I'm doing this. Pretty lightweight though. Remember, this is 10¼ inches overall, and it weighs 4.2 ounces. So we actually have a blade that is well over 4 inches and a weight, no, only 4, no, it went back to 4.2 ounces. That's pretty amazing, honestly. I am very much overjoyed with this knife. I think it's awesome. Not very many people will think it's awesome enough to pay what Microtech is asking for it. It also will be exceptionally illegal in many places. Not only is this a switchblade, yes, by legal definition, a switchblade, it is a single action switchblade with a double edge or a dagger ground blade. It's also 10¼ inches with 4¼ inches of blade. This will be extremely illegal in many places. Not here in Kansas, totally fine. I can carry it, I can own it, and I can carry it out in the post, doesn't matter. But you need to check your local laws before you buy something like this. If you live in another country, you're pretty much screwed. If you live anywhere else but the USA, I know there's a couple countries here and there, but most countries, this is going to be a huge no. So, but anyways, I'll do my best to put appropriate links in the description. Just don't expect there to be anything there because this is a bit of a tricky one to get a hold of right now. Anyways, please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.